Feel free to browse my fine wares, Spyro, and spend, spend, spend.